With the second season of My Hero Academia out and everyone loving it, let's take a look at one of my more recent favorite anti-heroes in anime, Midoriya Izuku, aka Deku. Deku normally wouldn't be classified as an anti-hero, but he is one of the most powerful examples of an anti-hero in recency. All over literature, we classify anti-heroes as characters who are morally ambiguous and normally have traits that would fit the role of an antagonist. Maybe they're willing to kill people or side with the villain for part of the story, usually for the purpose of fulfilling their goals. That's what makes them interesting characters to follow. Watching them step over boundaries that the heroes won't for their own reasons is a great way to get to know a character's viewpoint or ideology. But where does this leave Deku? He's not walking the line of good and evil and challenging the viewer's thoughts on morality. Well, Deku is a different type of anti-hero. He's a classic anti-hero. Up until the mid-90s, an anti-hero was typically viewed as a character who is everything that the normal archetype hero wasn't. A hero was a good-looking, intelligent, confident, all-around Mary Sue character, and an anti-hero was one who lacks those traits, making him a coward or a weakling in the context of the story and world he lives in. A character that goes against the normal traits of a hero but overcomes his weaknesses while fighting off the antagonists of the story. In my opinion, classic anti-heroes make much stronger protagonists because they can be developed more than your average hero. Classic anti-heroes are rare these days, but there are great examples of them throughout anime and manga. Sena from Eyeshield 21, Mob from Mob Psycho 100, and one of my personal favorites, Suna from Katekyo Hitman Reborn, are all great classic anti-heroes. They all start out as weak characters and grow mentally, physically, or both. Deku is different from those characters though. He aspires to fit the archetype of the hero, which contrasts his archetype already set in place. His entire character arc is built around him becoming the next symbol of peace, a hero, just like his mentor All Might. Bakugo, on the other hand, is your more modern anti-hero. Bakugo demands respect from those around him, and will often act like a fucking child to try and prove that he's the best. Remember when you were like 8, and to try and impress everyone at school, you had to be the kid who could run the fastest? Just me? Okay. Well, that's Bakugo in a nutshell. In Bakugo and Deku's fight during their training exam, we see flashbacks of their childhood. Ever since he was a kid, Bakugo's been told how amazing he was. Whether it was how smart he is or how flashy his quirk is, people praise him for his abilities, and he wants to show everyone that he's still the greatest. Until now, nobody has made him second-guess his strength, so he's never grown out of his egoistic mindset. His quirk is so strong and useful in battle that, in his mind, if everyone is physically weaker than him, then he must be the best hero. This is evidenced by the fact that he was only worried about winning the fight against Deku during their training exam instead of focusing on helping Ida protect the weapon. If he kicks the shit out of Deku, then he obviously wins, right? No! His narcissism and hot-blooded personality make people look at him in a negative light, like he's not fit to be a hero. But Bakugo doesn't care about fitting the hero archetype, only about his personal idea of heroism. Many of the characters have people they look up to, people they want to be like, or people they want to surpass. Those people provide goals for characters to reach. Deku wants to be like All Might and become the next symbol of peace. Ida wants to become a strong leader like his brother and represent his family. Ochiko wants to be strong like Deku and give her parents an easy life. Even Todoroki wants to surpass All Might without the overuse of his father's powers. Bakugo doesn't have a hero that he's trying to emulate. He admires All Might and says that he will surpass him someday, but he hasn't made that his personal goal like the others. Bakugo is a modern anti-hero because of his rash nature and the fact that he doesn't care who he has to stomp into the ground to get what he wants. Bakugo refuses to grow up and realize that he must make himself a better person if he wants to be the strongest hero. He won't take help or advice from anyone, not even All Might, so he's stuck where he is. Now, let's talk about my main man Stain. Stain's ideology isn't complex, but when looking at it in the context of other character archetypes, it brings his mindset into a whole new light. In Hero Aka society, the term hero means two different things. You have your fake heroes like Endeavor, Mount Lady, and Kamui Woods. They're heroes who only want to gain things like money and fame. They are the most common heroes we see in the Hero Aka universe. Then you have true heroes such as All Might, Gran Torino, and of course Deku. These are heroes who are only heroic for the sake of others. Being able to help those in need is the only thing they want to do. Stain detests fake heroes and wants to change the world's viewpoint of them. He sees the materialistic mindset of society and decides to take up a rather sadistic approach to dealing with it. killing fake heroes to punish their selfishness and convince the world that things need to change, that only true heroes should exist. After his fight with Deku, Todoroki, and Ida, he saves Deku from a Nomu because by the end of it all, he has acknowledged Deku's path to true heroism. He has good intentions, but the way he goes about it are literally the acts of a psychopath. Coincidentally enough, his appearance fits his personality perfectly. Doesn't that gorgeous face just scream, "I need to kill you"? That aside, Stain fits the modern anti-hero archetype to a T. No one wants to admit what's wrong with their society. From what we've seen, nobody except Stain has really noticed. Stain doesn't waver from his ideologies either. He makes it a point to tell the League of Villains how wrong they are when they try to recruit him, because he doesn't see what he does as villainous. He wants to create a more just world, and the ramifications of his actions ultimately inspire people to try and achieve his ideals. Now looking at Deku, the classic anti-hero archetype has one of the most important qualities in writing: relatability. Being able to relate to a character and what they go through can inspire people. Watching characters we relate to grow and change is one of the most satisfying things in storytelling. Classic anti-heroes probably have the most relatable characteristics of any archetype used in modern literature. Deku is kind of dorky and clumsy, and he gets flustered easily. Some might call him quirky, but he only aspires to be a better person. Even in My Hero's fame-centric, slightly narcissistic-minded society, all Deku wants to do is be a better person. Someone who people can look up to. A hero. He even went so far as to help Todoroki get over his personal gripes with his father in the middle of their fight. He's just that good-willed. When we see a character go from a timid, fearful, weak-minded character to a strong-hearted hero, you can feel an emotional connection with that character. That's the point of Deku's character, to show that no matter where you start out, you can always improve yourself. The show's theme of self-betterment while using the classic and modern anti-hero archetype is the reason why I love this show so much, and it just goes to show why we love anti-heroes. Thanks for watching, and I hope I gave you some thoughtful insight to the characters from Hero Aka. Tell me in the comments what you think and subscribe to my channel. Love and peace, everyone.